Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Syed Shahab Haider, BS Microbiology 7th semester from Cohort University of Science and Technology, Cohort. Today my presentation topic is foodborne viruses detection, risk assessment and control option in food processing. This is the outlines of my presentation which include introduction, epidemiology of foodborne disease, transmission of foodborne disease, methods of detection, risk assessment of viruses in food, effects of processing technologies to control viruses, conclusion, and the references. This is the International Journal of Food Microbiology from where I prepare my presentation. Let's start from introduction. Foodborne disease is a significant contributor to the global disease burden. Outbreaks and illness caused by foodborne pathogen also affect on health. Restaurants were the most common setting for these outbreaks, and with the majority of these attributed to infected food handlers, which is around about 70%. The most common categories of food linked to outbreaks were leafy greens, fish, fresh fruit, and shellfish. Foodborne illness also carries a high economic burden. It is estimated to cost the US economy between 55.5 and 93.2 billion dollar per year. Over the past few years, foodborne viruses have become a greater concern to both the food industry and regulatory bodies. Infection caused by foodborne viruses have started to be routinely monitored in surveillance system, and this is performed only in some industrialized countries. Now, what is epidemiology of foodborne viruses? When viruses are outside of their hosts, they are merely inert particles, and their associated risk greatly depends on the ability to maintain their infectivity. Virus contamination of foodborne products can occur either at pro-harvest or post-harvest. Improper food handling via poor hygienic practices is responsible for the post-harvest contamination, while foods at risk of contamination at the pre-harvest stage, essentially resulting from environmental pollution, which include corn, salad crop, green onion, other leafy greens, and soft fruits such as strawberries, raspberries, etc. Many outbreaks have been caused by infected workers harvesting the crop or by food handlers in restaurant and some home settings, and been linked to salad crops and soft fruits. Now, transmission of foodborne viruses, that how foodborne viruses are transmitted. Foodborne viruses infection are transmitted via the fecal oral route. They are also transmitted by person to person contact. Zoonotic infection caused by hepatitis E virus can occur via contact with contaminated parts of animal. Such contaminated parts of animal are used as food, for example, meat, milk, eggs, etc. Water pollution with human sewage has been recognized as a mode of viral transmission. This is the general graph which represents the number of outbreaks from 1998 to 2015, which represent that uh, between 2013 and 2015 there are many number of outbreaks of foodborne viruses which are occur, and this is around about 80. Methods of detection. Detection methods are used on PCR based. These methods focusing on norovirus and hepatitis A virus, with others under development or more sensitive, and require shorter time for analysis than cell culture based methods. The methods discussed on next slide. ISO method, International Standard Organization Method 2013, for standardized quantitative and qualitative RT-qPCR detection of norovirus and hepatitis A virus in food matrices, including bivalve molluscs, leafy greens, vegetable, berries, etc. International Standard Organization method includes certain criteria intended to prevent false negative interpretation or underestimation of virus quantity. The major issue when analyzing food matrices is the difficulty of detecting low level of virus due to limited sample size, and the availability of the ISO method should not hinder method improvement or optimization. Second one method is quantification and confirmation. Quantification by RT-qPCR can be done by using a standard curve generated from known amounts of the target sequence represented by synthetic or in vitro transcribed RNA or DNA. Most food companies and authorities mainly ask for qualitative results as part of product production hygiene testing or outbreak investigation. For confirmation of a positive RT-qPCR signal and to assist epidemiological studies, systematic typing of strain linked to disease outbreaks and surveillance of viruses in food commodities is recommended. The other one method is detection of infected viruses. Cell culture based method can be used to detect some enteric viruses. Cell culture based method have been used to initially amplify viral nucleic acid and remove inhibitors prior to detection by RT-qPCR or qPCR depending on the virus type. The method allowed infectivity analysis of viruses found in shellfish samples and detection of viruses that may not cause cytopathic changes in cell culture, for example, hepatitis A virus. The other techniques is detection method is new technologies. Recent technical developments provide opportunities to improve the detection, quantification, and identification of viruses in food matrices. Besides some technical improvements of quantification as provided by digital PCR, accuracy of PCR-based technologies could be enhanced by improvement of enzymes, labeling, and knowledge of viral genome sequences. In the near future, identification of the virome in clinical and environmental sample will also be helpful in analysis of food samples. Now the other portion, which is the risk assessment of viruses in foods. The use of risk assessment techniques has been suggested by international bodies. Risk assessment can also be quantitative when models are used to link the different risk assessment. There are two approaches of risk assessment: an epidemiological approach, which is called top-down approach, starting from data on illness and moving toward the hazard in the product, while a food chain approach, which is called bottom-up approach, starting from the hazard in the product and moving towards an estimate of the probability of illness. The following section provide an overview of existing top-down or bottom-up risk assessment. Now it is bottom-up risk assessment on viruses. Most published risk assessment consider enteric viruses present in water, while fewer studies have examined viruses present in food products. Norovirus and hepatitis A virus are dealt with in several of these risk assessments as the virus is transmitted via food and water. An overview of bottom-up food risk assessment can be seen in next slide. This is the table of which represents some viruses along with their commodity and year in which they are reported. For example, norovirus, their commodity is frozen raspberries, which are reported in 2017. Hepatitis A virus, their commodity is leafy green vegetable, and they are reported in 2015. Ebola virus, their commodity is palm oil and cocoa beans, and they are reported in 2016. Norovirus, their commodity is drinking water. They are reported in 2006. Avian influenza, their commodity is water and poultry, which are reported in 2005. Now, what is top-down risk assessment on viruses? Epidemiology based risk assessment may provide data on prevalence and concentration of viruses in specific food commodities from outbreak studies. The output of such studies can be used to assess the risk of viral infection through water and food. Foodborne and waterborne outbreaks were associated with multiple strain G1 and G2 strain. Waterborne outbreaks were associated with G1 strain, while healthcare related and winter outbreaks were associated with G2 strain. These studies identified trend for epidemic norovirus detection, prevention, and control. Guidelines have been written to help food authorities and the industry to manage sick leaves in case of ill food handlers in order to limit the transmission of viruses through food handling operation. Now, what is the effect of processing technologies to control viruses? Intrinsic and extrinsic factor of foods, food processing technologies, and chemical based technologies could be used to control enteric viruses from foods. While data from these control strategies focus on inactivating norovirus, hepatitis A virus, and to a lesser extent, validation of control strategies for viruses needs documented scientific evidence to demonstrate their effectiveness to eliminating viruses from food. Hepatitis A virus and hepatitis E virus strain cannot be easily cultured in the laboratory. So, as alternative, a cultivable laboratory adopted hepatitis A virus HM175 strain and recently developed hepatitis E virus cell culture method are used in studies. So, thermal processing it is the control option in food processing. This is the most effective strategy in activating foodborne viruses, including norovirus, hepatitis A virus, and hepatitis E virus. Temperature greater than 90 degrees centigrade for greater than 90 strain are generally effective against enteric viruses, even in complex matrices such as shellfish. The second one control option is the ionizing irradiation technologies. Irradiation is effective in food preservation for the marketplace. Most viruses are far more resistant to irradiation than vegetative bacteria, parasites, and fungi, which may be due to their smaller size and smaller genome size. The third one control option is light based control technologies. They include UV light and high intensity pulse light, which is denoted by PL. The mechanism involved in antiviral activity of pulse light is probably disruption of viral structure that degrades viral proteins and RNA. The fourth one control option in food processing is the sanitizer used in produce processing. The main control strategies used by the produce industry is the use of chlorine in the form of sodium hydrochloride. Soft fruits such as strawberries, raspberries, etc. are exposed to a quick spray in 15 to 20 ppm with chlorine. Other sanitizers include hydrogen peroxide and ozone, which are also strong oxidizing agents to eliminate virus from foods. High pressure processing. The treatment of foods with high pressure processing is based on compressing the food suspended in liquid and releasing pressure quickly. Early high pressure processing studies were conducting using FCV suspended in isotonic tissue culture medium. Its inactivation after 5 minutes exposure to 275 MPa or more indicated applicability of high pressure processing for inactivating human norovirus. Hepatitis A virus can be inactivated by high pressure processing while PVA is resistant. High pressure processing inactivation is strongly influenced by processing temperature, pH, and salt concentration within the food. Conclusion. Over the last 20 years, reports of foodborne illness outbreaks caused by viruses have been steadily increasing. Those foodborne viruses are a very serious threat to overall global health. As detection methods improve and new ones are developed, the association of viruses with foodborne illness will only increase. There is potential for the detection of new viruses to be implicated in foodborne illness outbreaks. A new molecular method are also helpful in the detection of foodborne viruses. It is necessary for all experts to harness the power of modern technologies to develop new paradigms in the study of viruses. Control measure can be improved by focusing on training and supplier control during processing. Proper hand washing and hygienic measure are essential control measures in preventing foodborne viruses transmission. In conclusion, effective tools and technologies to ensure control of viruses in the food chain can significantly reduce foodborne infection caused by viruses. So this is the references. Thank you so much. Allah Hafiz.